application-specific client plugin for Winform is written. When screen field values need to be validated or computed for a specific function, when this cannot be handled by Winform specifications computation, validation specifications, or base tables need to be updated for a specific function that cannot be handled by schema computations or related table updates. When there are no plugins, Winform client communicates through MinSitP server, a proxy that handles all the technicalities of communicating with MinSitP service running in the cloud. When service communication technology changes, only the MinSitP server will undergo changes. When plugins are written, the business part is in the app UI, and the technology part is in the app update components, which will communicate with cloud service via MinSitP server client component. It is a design standard that the Winform client plugins, that is app UI, do not perform any table updates. Table updates should be performed by the server update components. That is app update service. App UI should call the server update service methods to perform the updates. There are two reasons. Reason 1. Methods can be shared by several forms plugins, and reason 2. To keep the network traffic low. If the record update is performed in client plugin, the total record should be brought to the client from the database server, which will increase the network traffic. In addition to acting as a pass-through for server update service components, following activities can be performed by the client plugin components app UI. Setting and getting field values of virtual fields. Getting the record set instances of the tables used in the dialog other than the primary record set. Locking, unlocking, hiding, showing controls on the dialog. Printing the reports using the data already retrieved and shown in the dialog. The methods to be used for these can be seen in the class library reference. App update component will be called by app UI when it needs to call a method in app update service in cloud. App update has some method structure. When it is invoked, we'll call the method in app update service, plumbing it through MinSitP server client component and MinSitP service. Call signature of method will be used in app UI as if it is calling directs. In the Winform function, definition, plugin DLL name, like application.type.dll example leobiz.mrui.dll. Plugin class, like application. Type, class name example leobiz. MRUI order.txn is specified. Winform manager will call the constructor in the plugin, passing the instance of the server manager. Constructor code should be as shown in the next slide. First line, get the instance of the MinSitP.server client component. Second line, create the instance of Mr. Update, supplying the schema server parameter. Mr. Update will in turn create Mr. Update service in MinSitP service process, as we will see later. First line remembers the schema server for future reference. Second line instantiates a new class in schema service with those properties, so that methods in them can be referenced whenever required using the service identity used. Typical methods signature and calling a method in app UI will look like this. All the methods in UI specified in the dialog designer should have the above signature, that is Winform manager, and anchor table record set instance should be parameters. The call to the method in app update service should be compatible with the signature of that in the app update service. In this case, confirm order method should exist in the inventory interface in the Mr. Update service. However, this method will call the method in the Mr. Update with same name and signature. App update, it will have same signature, but will have code to send request to Mr. Update service plumbing through MinSitP. Server client which knows whether send to SOAP MinSitP service, which in turn will send it to app update service. In and ref parameters should be converted from none or more parameters into two list, one for in and another for out ref parameters. Request is sent by using same service identity created earlier. Method name, list of input parameters and list of out ref parameters. This request will be routed to the same method in Mr. Update service. If values are to be returned, it will return in the ref parameter. It should be converted to out discrete parameters from list. When the Winform manager exits I.e when the function is exited, It will execute the dispose method of the Winform client. Winform client in the dispose method should call dispose method in the AP UI component. App UI release all non-memory resources I.e if any record sets are not closed, and also call the dispose method of app update service for it to release non-memory resources. Display message displays the message and the buttons in a separate dialog and returns the caption of the button clicked. Get primary record set gets the instance of the anchor table record set instance of the dialog calling this plugin so that its field values and related record sets can be obtained. Get related record set gets the instance of the record sets used in the dialog calling this plugin. This can be used to get the record set other than the primary record set. Get screen field gets the values displayed in the screen referencing it by the control name of the screen field. This will be used for display fields that are not associated with the database, but virtual display only fields. Set screen field sets the values displayed in the screen referencing it by the control name of the screen field. This will be used for display fields that are not associated with the database, but display only fields. This should be used only if it cannot be done by the screen computation options. Set focus sets the focus to the specified control. Lock control disables a particular control in the dialog. This should be used only if it cannot be done by the screen computation options. Unlock control enables a particular control in the dialog. This should be used only if it cannot be done by the screen computation options. Hide control hides the control. This should be used only if it cannot be done by the screen computation options. Show control makes the hidden control visible. This should be used only if it cannot be done by the screen computation options. Call RU calls the RU for online printing. This should be used only if the format ID is not fixed. Otherwise the from operation call ruformed should be used. Invoking record set methods in App UI. When record set methods in invoked in update service, it would use the instance of record set and invoke the method. However, when the record set methods are used in App UI instance of the schema server should be used, and the record set instance should be the first parameter with other parameters as in specification following. In the example, init record set is a method of schema service and uses the schema server instances in both cases. But make empty is a record set method. In the code that is running in the server, it will be coded as record set instance .make empty. But in client code, it will be schema instance that ss user data .make empty with record set name as parameter, no other parameters, because it has no parameters. In spite of our well-designed, carefully constructed and properly quality assured, errors would occur due to a variety of reasons such as improper parameter setting, system software, hardware errors. Important thing from design and construction perspective is, if someone experiences error, we should have enough information to resolve us up. To achieve this, following steps are done. Numbering of elements. Each component, DLL, should have unique number. A range of numbers are allocated to components of each application such as 1 to 50 for MinSitP runtime, 51 to 80 for designers, 90 for secadmin, 100 to 109 for ERP, 110 to 119 for NPI, and so on. Each class should be assigned a unique number within the component. Each method should be assigned a unique number within each class. These numbers and names should be entered in the process definition in the designer. Each class should carry the following code in the instance variable of component ID, class ID, and reference 125 as instance variables. Each method should have try catch and should carry before try the following code. Defining method ID and error ID end of each executable statement must be preceded with assigning value to a ID. In at possible places in the body of the code, judicious use of ref1 to ref5. Catch should be identical to as specified in the public classes. Catch should be identical to as specified in the internal classes. Using the function process info in the MinSitP designer for each application components. List of code components. List of classes within code component. List of methods within class. Can specified. When an exception occurs at runtime, it will be displayed giving the IDs and names specified in the schema for those numbers. If the number in code and the schema is different, name could be erroneous.